Welcome to Never Shut Up. Happy New Year. Yes, y'all getting tired of all them texts too? Yeah, me too. I hate when I throw one out there because I know I'm going to get 3 back. But love for you guys because we have made it around this world another lap, another year, as they say. So obviously we all feel blessed and we know how precious life is because not everyone has made that lap with us. So respect to you and yours and love from the Wiley family, and we feel the love right back right here on this show where we talk sports and entertainment and learn those life lessons and cover the media like the media covers everything else. Big shout out to our sponsors, to our support from BetUS. So WileyWins.com, you must go there. 125% sign up bonus, and I'll hook you up with $50 in the free play. That's right. And in today's economy, that $50 ain't going nowhere, but it's going to get you a play against your boy. Let's have some fun. Support for Brinks TV. As you know, we're doing big things and continue to grow. We're looking forward to 2024. A lot of partnerships and amazing opportunities coming your way. Make sure you go to Brinks.tv to support all the things we're doing. But you know us. We don't come empty-handed. $1,000 in Brinks bucks if you show up and sign up. It's a free login right there for you. 1,000 Brinks bucks. Also, this show is powered by Project Transition, and that is pt.org. Go to projecttransition.org, and if you leave a recurring donation, I'll hook you up with this book. And if you don't, just leave your email so you can be a part of the team of this global giving community. Y'all see these muscles? Boy, that pickleball got me lean right now. Loving life. All right, y'all. Y'all know how we start off every show. What's up with that dude? I am not going to take y'all through my last week and a half, 2 weeks that I've been off. Y'all be like, damn, dog, that was a whack-ass show. Too much stuff. Eventful, though. The kids were home. You know the itty-bitties were running crazy. I posted a bunch of that stuff like you guys. When they lose their structure, they lose their way. My kids are waking up later than they ever wake up, going to bed later than they ever go to bed, and watching an iPad undercovers, Mr. Beast and Colin Anonymous. And I'm like learning all these things that these kids really into when they don't have that structure. So it's been fun around the house. But as recent as yesterday, went to the Rose Bowl game. Did y'all watch that game? I was there in attendance, and I must say, and I'm trying not to be a prisoner of the moment, that was the most exciting football game I've attended as a fan. Now, you probably could beat me up and give me a couple other games out there that were great. Maybe I didn't go to that game. Or y'all can say, oh, it was good, but it wasn't that good at home watching on TV for those who didn't attend. But for being there and the energy, and Michigan was deep. Alabama was there, but Michigan was deep. Oh, man, that game just went back and forth, especially how it started off that first play. I was like, Doc, I've heard of nerves. I've had nerves. I've never seen that. What did they say on TV about that? I was like, the quarterback drops back. J.J. McCarthy went, huh? Alabama, here you go. I was like, what? That's how you start off the game? Oh, and to come back and actually win that same game, special teams, miscues, etc. Y'all saw the game. Amazing college football playoffs this year. Say what y'all want about the committee. I'm so glad I didn't see Florida State, even though I won that though. Did they do that during that game when they played Georgia? 60, let me say it the right way. 3-63. You ain't getting none of that out. No, you can't even, they couldn't get nothing out. Bam. Whoa, that was bad. Then I went to the Clippers game last night. That was fun. Clippers are insane right now. I am not lying. I don't know what Vegas is saying about who's the odds-on favorite to win. Milwaukee, Boston, they still on that stuff. It's the Clippers. They got squad, dog. And they second team, Russell Westbrook, Norman Powell. Stop playing with your boy. Oh, man. Oh, we got squad. This is silly right now. So good for us. So I had a long day, man. The wife and I hanging out all day, going to 2 different sporting events in the town. We had a conversation. I got to break this down real quick. Of me being hypercritical. And I know what she's talking about. So we all have a critic. And you got to be careful who your critic is, because sometimes you can be an optimist with a critic. So that's who I am. I'm an optimist. I'm always thinking positively. However, it doesn't always come out in a positive way. As I learned yesterday, my wife was like, dog, you're just hypercritical. And I was like, really? Why? And then she was like, just because I can tell you something, and then you'll twist it into what I should be doing instead of just what it is. I was like, that's pretty interesting, because that is who I am. So you know where that comes from? That comes from when you're growing up. And you're looking around and you're like, man, I can't listen to any of these people because that ain't going to get me where I got to go. Did anybody else grow up like that, where you actually had to be distant from some people your elders, somebody you wanted to respect, even some of your friends. You're like, man, I got to keep this space because they over there tripping. That's the critic. The critic is getting his muscles. He's starting to flex because he's looking around and people real close to you, he's criticizing them in a good way for a good reason, right? You're trying to get up out. I'm trying to get out the hood. I'm like, I got to go make it. I got to attain these goals. So I caught myself yesterday listening to my wife like, damn it, let's stop fighting it. I was about to critique the critic. I was like, you're right. And how do you turn that off? Obviously, you got to just be in your moment, in your new space, in your present place, and respect that you actually got there. You won, you made it, whatever that may be. And you got to just redefine who you are because where you are has obviously changed. So just wanted to get that out there, man. Ain't nobody perfect. And I think I'm so positive, and then my ass over there being critical. So my wife kind of gave me a tat yesterday, and I needed to hear that. Hopefully y'all needed to hear it as well. All right, let's talk about this because this is something I like. Something I needed to hear, and it was from Shannon Sharpe, who talks about the struggle before success. What struggle before success? Well, everybody knows that struggle comes before success, even in the dictionary, because you're just not born ready-made, especially humans. God, we are some weak mammals. You talking about, when we come out, we need how many years before we even independent? They say 18, but how many years for a kid can even take care of itself? 9, 10? Like, what age were you when you finally were like, I got this, you know? Older, right? Compared to a lot of other animals, they hit the ground running. So if you look at us, we always have to struggle before our success. We got to walk before we run. Exactly. Well, Shannon Sharpe broke this down in a way that I like to hear and I like to share with you guys. Check this out.
You never judge a man by where he's standing because you don't know how far he's come. See, you look at the man that's laying on the street, but how about what if he was under the bridge just yesterday? See, you judge a man by where he's standing, not knowing where he came from. You see, a lot of people say, well, Shannon, it's easy for you to say that because you this, but you didn't see from 1968 to 1988. See, that's what you didn't see. And you didn't see Shannon go to bed hungry. And you didn't see Shannon not take a bath. And you didn't see Shannon get rained on. And you didn't see his granny crying, asking, what am I going to pay for today? Do I keep the lights on so you can do your homework? Or do I keep the phone connected so we can call somebody if it is an emergency? What am I going to do this month? So while you judging me for what I am now, do you know where I came from? Then did you know how long it took me to get here? See, all you see is my successes, but you didn't see the delays.
Yeah, that's right. Something about Unc, the way he talks, just make everybody want to listen. Like, you know, I don't know if it's that mix of that Southern twang and the way that he always just talks, like he's so emphatic, like his face is moving when he talks, right? And then he just be talking like, it's just dope. But he said this one, and I like this one. To sum it up, what I got from it was the same thing I always feel is that I can impress you with my success, but I can impact you with my scars, right? And when you get to a level where people are taking notice of you, a lot of times you sit there and sometimes even have resentment because you're like, dog, y'all acting like I've always been here. I've taken a lot of that backlash before when I start talking to people and they're like, dog, you can say that because you won or you got money or you made it to the league or, you know, I'm like, dog, you forgot? I was in the mud too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't let this white linen fool you. I could take it off and show you the dry cleaning. You know what I mean? I had to clean this up. And that's the process for everybody. You're going to struggle before you succeed. And it hurts when I had a conversation with Curtis Conway one day, and he was like, be careful out there, Wild Style. That's my big brother. He was like, be careful out there, Wild Style. That's what he called me. He was like, because you got to remember, I'm 49 right now. He's like, you've been out the hood longer than you were in the hood. So be careful with that advice for the hood. I didn't do that math before. That was logical math. Like right now, 28 years since I'm turning 21, 28 years not on Slauson, not on Palm, not on Barron, not on Edgemar. You know what I mean? Not over hills. 28. 21 in them though, but still 28 out them. So it just made me rearrange my sensibilities. Not change them, just rearrange them. Like, oh, dog, so you don't sound strange to some circumstances that you actually are familiar with, right? So that's what I caught when he was saying that. And also I caught how the grind is. And remember this about the grind. Everybody wants to go to the parade, but nobody wants to build the floats. Did y'all watch the parades yesterday? People be building them floats in March. Like in 2 months, they're taking a 2-month break right now to build those floats for the next parade that you're going to see next New Year's. Golly. Everybody want to go to the parade, but not build those floats. Oh, man. When the draft party, you know, when you're walking around, you just graduated, you got the promotion. How many people were really trying to stay up late with you? And how many people were really trying to do those extra reps, extra laps with you? Nah, they just waiting for you to score and then be like, yeah, you wasn't with me when I was shooting in the gym. That's how the game goes. So just wanted to throw that out there for y'all, man. You know, this show is going to be about positivity, even with some critics, even with some critiques. But that's how we going to get down, man. We're going to learn these life lessons. So you tell me, man, what you think about Shannon Sharpe saying you never judge a man by where he's standing because you don't know how he got there. That journey traveled, that road traveled. And are you one that judges? Because I judge. And I say, ye judge, ye shall be judged. I judge, therefore I know y'all judging me. And it's okay. I actually like that process. I'd rather that than not judge. I think a lot of people got that wrong in the Bible. Talking about ye judge, ye shall be not judged. Oh, no, it means you playing this game? Oh, we're going to ball with you and against you. So that's how the game goes. Beat it up in the comments what you think about what I said, what Shannon Sharpe said, and we're going to keep this show rolling. All right, y'all. Coming up next on Never Shut Up, what we going to talk about black religion. I guess that's something. You know what I mean? Even though you go to any church, you're going to see all types. That's something. We know what it is. How they waste 3 things, according to Dr. Umar Johnson. Whoa, what could those 3 things be? And what can we learn from them? Next, on Never Shut Up on Brinks TV and Reach TV. Get that boy up out of here, boy. Yeah. Welcome back to Never Shut Up. It's your boy Marcellus Wiley out here creating a global giving community, man. So many partnerships, advisors, ambassadors of what we're doing over at projecttransition.org. And all of you guys are equally important to our mission because we're creating a global giving community. So go to projecttransition.org, log on, leave a recurring donation, you get this. Leave your email, you get this. Part of this team. Let's go. All right, now, Dr. Umar Johnson said, black church, y'all out there wasting 3 things. I want to tell you what those 3 things are, but I think it's better if you hear it from him. Check this out.
You take 3 things from black people that we can't afford to waste and can't never get back. Number 1 is money. We take too much resources. Every black church should have 3 institutions. You should have a school for our kids, a bank to invest in our people, and you should have a community garden to feed our people good food. If you are bringing in at least $250,000 a year in tithes and you ain't got a school, a bank, and a garden, you a goddamn fraud. I don't care who you are. Number 2, Joe, they take too much of our time. You can make that money back. You can't make your time back. Bible study, Sunday service, Sunday morning service, Sunday night service, gospel choir. Why are you taking all this time and you're not giving us nothing? And the 3rd thing that they take from us that we can't afford to waste and have misused is hope. The black church abuses our hope by constantly making you feel Jesus or Muhammad want to come and make everything right when the time is right. And that's why black religion plays right into the hand of the white power structure. You know why? Because it has black people thinking they don't have to do shit but wait and pray in order to change their circumstances. And that's why Napoleon Bonaparte said what? Religion is what keeps the poor man from killing the rich one.
Spicy chicken sandwich. It's time to go. Can't waste money, time, and our hope. Those 3 are big. I've come to realize that wasting time is the worst thing you can do because obviously you don't get that back. Even though you grow up thinking wasting money is worse than wasting time because you think you got so much time when you're young, right? Well, I flipped that. You get that money back quick. I mean, I can go to a gas station right now and come out a billionaire. It's weird out here, right? All this work and then somebody just be like, I got it, oh my God. Somebody I just saw won 780 million. Crazy, you know what I mean? So you get that money. You get that money back. You can lose that money. That time, tick tock, tick tock. So I understand what he's saying about the money and the time. And then he said hope. Okay, we're gonna break this down. We know what hope does. It kind of fills you up. It gives you that emotional content, whatever way, whatever attributes to get you going to where you need to go, right? Without that hope, it just feels like, why would I even start? Because it's not going to get to my destination. It's not going to get to where I want it to end. I understand that. I understand it. But let me just tell you what I feel, because this is, damn it, my show. You know what I mean? I grew up in church. I grew up in church as a literalist. Like, I read the Bible when I was young and all the way through my teen years, etc. So I've read the Bible. And I'm reading it. And I'm reading this. And you can read this, you know, 1 Timothy or whatever you mean. You're reading. And then you read something else. You're in 2 John, right? You're like, that doesn't sound like it goes in the same book as the way I just read, right? So I think this is what happens to a lot of people. They don't, and I'm not talking higher than them or you. I'm not talking holier than you. I'm talking maybe different than you. Let me say this. Religion to me is to explain the inexplicable. When they started writing the holy books, they were trying to explain the inexplicable. They were trying to get familiar with the unknown. You know, the things that you don't know or you can't exactly articulate, they were trying to explain that. So that's where it starts off. So it became for me a big psychological book of inspiration, but also despair. It became me having a deep faith in God. Me acquiring, like really acquiring, because when you first, at least for me, when I first started reading it, I was like, all right, I believe in God because somebody told me to. Now let me start reading this so I can really understand, so it could be personal, so it could be my journey. When I started to read it, I realized, oh, this is on a mission to enhance my faith, give me a deep faith in God, right? Which is going to really take me and give me a deep dive into myself. Because I'm made in his image. So then I started to notice, I was like, wow, hold on. This is more like of a ecosystem. Like these things are congruent, but I got to match them up properly, but they're congruent. They're connected. So I know who struggles with religion. And I'm not trying to force religion on you, but I can see who struggles. If I had to typecast, if I had to go out there and stereotype, literalist, because I am one, right? Scientists, 1 + 1, you know, mathematicians, pragmatists, like people who are just really there. I need to see it. I need to hear it. I need to touch it. Okay. But then religion kicks in. And this is what's beautiful about religion. It's like the winds you don't see, but feel. You ever go in the open field or something? And you're like, ooh. And you look around, you don't see anything, but you feel it. That's religion. Religion is this. You are a natural being, and then nature is the unexpected. You are natural, but you ain't nature. Because nature is going to come with the unexpected, man. It's going to tell you that everything that is up there is down here. Everything that's down there is up here. That's why people are like, dog, so positive one page and the next page so negative. Because it's trying to tell you, I told you, it's that ecosystem. It's all connected. Everything that's out there is in you, at least the power and the ability. Wow, isn't that crazy? You want it out there, you have the power to create that. Here's the flip. People don't flip it like this. That also means that everything that you created, did you want it? Did you need it? Right? That's their accountability and responsibility. That's that faith, all coming connected. I heard what he said, and I said, what is the black churches doing? Can't waste money, can't waste time. I don't think it's a waste of your money for you to support your church. I also don't think it's a waste of the church's money if they haven't given you necessarily a grocery store, as he said, if they necessarily haven't given you a bank. Like, black churches need a black bank when everybody's processing something green. White churches don't need a white bank, but you're going to say, well, that's already in place. Here's the thing, what you're really trying to say. Let's skip the middle step. What you're trying to say is you need to create a mindset, a psychology that understands it needs to invest in itself, whether that's community or individual, right? Like, that's the best church to go to, one that tells you how to invest in yourself and to get greater gains from everything you do and those around you. That's community. Because community is never going to be broken down 100% by color, 100% by gender, et cetera. So the identity politics of it all really misses what it should hit, which is you're creating a giving community that gives to itself, that feeds the God in it, that promotes the God out there. So I didn't agree with that part. I don't think it wastes your time either. I mean, there are people, I know some aunties out there, so my grandmother, my aunt of honey, et cetera, that would hit every day of church. But is that a waste? They were amazing people. Is that a waste? I didn't think that was a waste. Now, the hope part was interesting because I know what he was saying with that one. And here's the thing about it. When you read, when you know religion, and you also know those who are waiting for the Messiah, waiting for someone, the Savior, to come down. In this case, Jesus, he said, Allah, etc. What you got to understand is, it's kind of like the quote in the Bible, faith without action is death. It's not saying wait without working. It's saying it's coming. But what's coming is not necessarily a person out the sky, a thing out the sky, right? Literalist, here we go. What's coming is what you're working for, that deep faith in what you're working for. You will have that revelation, or you will have exactly what you're working for, that peace, the heaven on earth, whatever you want to call it. Now, a lot of people going to look at this because this is what the beauty of the Bible is. I ain't see that, or I disagree with that. It says this. God's not linear. God's not in this one word. He's not monocratic, right? He's not right there. And that's the beauty of it. It can be interpreted in so many ways, but it can inspire that same hope he said that they're wasting in the black churches in so many ways. What I got out of church is not what you got out of church. What you get out of church is not what they get out of church. So I don't think they waste our hope. I understood what he was saying, though, because without you clearly looking at it for what it is, you won't see it for what it is. But what it is what you are. Got to get that one, man. It's not that. It's this. You're working on yourself as you build that greater faith in God in all things. So that was pretty interesting when I caught that one, man. Oh, he's making a lot of headlines, I'll tell you that. Every time he opens his mouth right now, he going in. A lot of times just because he's speaking his truth. Simple as that. And that's what's going to always resonate. So my faith is very important to me. And your faith in yourself better be important to you, or good luck trying to build in this world without having that deep faith in yourself. And for me, that is tied to religion, that is tied to God, that is tied to greater things than just myself, which is all about y'all. All right, y'all. So tell me what y'all think about his black religion issues. You think that they waste time, money, and hope? Interesting. What's your experience has been in the black church? I don't think he was talking about general churches. I'll try to make it general as possible, but I think he was talking about black churches. So y'all tell me what you think about that. And are they abusing our hope? Let me know in those comments. Beat it up. Let's go for real on this one. All right, y'all. Coming up next on Never Shut Up, we got Mike Tomlin talking about coaching. He's saying these coaches, they scared. They resisting that responsibility. that comes with coaching. Oh, man, y'all know I'm a coach. Y'all know they call me Phil Belichick in these streets, winning in basketball and football, but we're going to talk about winning in life right now. Next, on Never Shut Up on Brinks TV and Rich J. Get out of here. Get out of here. Why? Welcome back to Never Shut Up. It's your boy Marcellus Wiley over here drinking that C4. You ever had a C4? I think I got a C5 today. God dang, that thing got me zoomed. And it's the first day back, man. Excited still, though. Excited for one, this, projecttransition.org. I said it, right? Projecttransition.org. You guys join the community, leave a recurring donation, that book is yours. But also, because behind the scenes, we're starting to work on Dat Dudes Dudes is coming back. Dat Dudes Dudes. Oh, it's going to be fun. Be breaking down this film in my way with a joke or two, but some life lessons and some good instruction. I'm going to give you pro-level training. So all I'm going to need for you guys is to send in the clips. We get there later, but we're that close. I think a week or two. We'll see. All right, y'all, let's get into this right now. Speaking of coaching, Mike Tomlin. Imagine you sent your clip in to Mike Tomlin. He sent it back to you tomorrow. You need to do this, this, and this, and this is amazing. Wow, that'd be amazing, huh? Well, that's what we're going to do on Dat Dudes Dudes. But right now, we're going to hear Mike Tomlin talk about coaching, and he broke this down.
I love to hear coaches resist the responsibility of coaching.
What'd you say, Coach?
Because they're easy to beat.
What'd you just say, Coach?
I love coaches that resist the responsibility of coaches, that talk negatively about a dude that can't learn and blah, blah. Man, if everybody could learn, we need less coaches.
Yeah, that's real.
Right? If the group didn't need management, then we wouldn't make as much.
Yep.
I love reading draft evals and somebody's talking about anything other than pedigree, talking about how poor somebody's hand usage is. Well, that's coaching. I don't run away from coaching. I run to coaching.
Love it.
It all is in line with that not seeking comfort, because when you're a coach that's talking about somebody can't learn, you're seeking comfort because your teaching is struggling.
Yeah.
Woo! Whoa! I love it. He said, man, look, I love coaches that resist the responsibility of coaching. I swear I've been thinking this forever. I'm like, dog, why they always try to disparage or discard a player for reasons that are teachable, and they don't have to feel the heat or the accountability of not teaching them? I'm like, hold on. Like, he even gave a good example, hand placement. Like, dog, if I put my hands in the wrong place, teach me to put them in the right place. It's not that hard, right? So that's one of them. But more than that, we're not talking about some of the measurables that you just can't teach, right? Like, you can't teach height. You know, you can teach weight to a degree. You can't teach speed, really, on the margins. But point being, outside of that, that player is moldable. That player is pliable. That player can be good or not. Case in point. You ever see a team that you look at and you try to limit them athletically or talent-wise? You're like, they about a 5 on a 10 scale, right? But then coach start playing chess with them suckers. You ever went against that team? You look at them across the field when you warming up, they don't want none. They don't want none of the big green machine. You looking at them like that. And you're like, oh, look at them fools, man. They look sorry. They can't even do jumping jacks, right? Jumping jacks are easy. X, pistol. You know what I'm saying? They can't even do that. You're like, man, they ain't got no wristbands on they calves. They look weak. You ever do that? Just judging them before the game. And get out there, they coach start playing chess, your coach playing checkers because he think he got all the pieces. Oh, whatever, king me. Look how fast he is. It'll slap you in the face. And that's what I love about what Mike Tomlin said about coaching. You got to manage personalities, one, then you got to blend all those players' desires into one mission, and we got to go. Crazy, right? Yesterday I was in the suite. I was with Tom Brady's family. His sister was there. Michigan was there. So, the Bradys were in the building. So respect to them. But every time you hear Brady, immediately your head runs to uber success and put in work to get it. It's weird. His brand's even different than Michael Jordan's, right? Well, Michael Jordan, you kind of like, all right, GOAT, best player of all time, kind of born close to that in terms of, even though we know he had to struggle in high school, saw him in college, hit the ground running in the pros, got Pippen and got coach. It's rap. Him and Phil, they went and did it. But you still marry him closer to his success. Tom Brady, you never married him to that success. He just kept dating it to the point you're like, all right, give it to him. Damn it, he won't go away. That's crazy, right? So when I think about that, I think about coaches. I'm thinking about how Tom Brady had his issues when he went to Michigan getting recruited, and then his recruiting coordinator left. As soon as he got there, then he had a different time and struggle. You don't have your boy, you ain't got your ambassador with you, right, etc. Tomlin broke it down. He said, look, if everybody can learn, we need less coaches. Man, you go and practice and coach don't want to coach. He just want to grab the good players and just say, hopefully they can win it for me. That's part of it. But what about these other players? You can squeeze some of that toothpaste out, and then we can work, really put in some work. So, man, the more I see people out there, and it's crazy because I see people who have goals that they want to reach. And then I see them actually attain it. You know your success stories around you. And then when they get there and they say, goal reached, I'm like, now lean back and teach. Lean back and teach. Goal reached, lean back and teach. People get safe, they get scared, they protect theirs. Oh, I got mine, you go get yours. You know how to get yours. Go pull your boots up. It's like, nah, man, coach. Coach these kids, coach this next generation, coach whoever's coming next. You ain't gonna hold it forever. Talk the real road, those real struggles, and how you got there. But a lot of times it's just people who want to be in that safe and protected space. Tomlin's talking about that even in coaching. They ain't even trying to get it all out. So you're seeking comfort because your teaching is struggling, as he says. I just went through this with one of my coaches in my league. I'm not going to say his name because y'all ain't going to know it anyway. But he wanted to create a super team. And I looked at him as I looked at my phone, as I looked at the text. I was like, okay, what that mean to you? Because my teams turned out super. At least they win a Super Bowl, right? What does a super team mean to you at 8? He was like, only dogs. And I was like, Naturally, that's going to happen, man. Naturally, they're going to all have to build up to that point where next step is AAU and travel team. After that, then they're going to be all these little club teams sponsored. And next thing you know, you can only wear this shoe. And next thing you know, you got an NIL deal. Next thing you know, you can only go to this camp. And I'm like, that's coming if they balling. I know, because I went through that process, our version in the 80s and 90s, getting recruited to go to high school. I've been there. Can't go to the snack stand. Hey, can I get some chili cheese Fritos and a tiki punch? Hey. He's like, oh, I got you. Hey, little man, where you going to school? Thank you. I'm going to Westchester. What you mean? All right, you need to go to the school. Bought my chili cheese Fritos and everything. Look at that. Crazy, right? That's coming. Why go to it? It's coming. You ain't got to go anywhere. It's coming. Just keep balling. So I saw that like, damn, I want a coach. I want the kid with 2 left feet. I don't need 2 of them on my team, but just one. Give me one. But the point is, I'm an all-comers coach. Register. Put my name down. If they give me you, we go. Let's go. We're going to go try and get it too. Because at this stage, it's about developing. At this stage, it's fundamental to just learn the game, love the game, have passion for it, and chase your dreams, whatever those may be. And most of them won't be in sports. So I hate to just walk away from somebody just because they're born slower, shorter. And then it's crazy because the good kids on your team right now, they 5 years from now, puberty hits, some of them kids the same size. And then somebody gonna go, phew, that same kid we walked by and discarded, now all of a sudden a little monster, a little beast. So in the spirit of that, I heard Mike Tomlin loud and clear in my ears, seeking comfort because your teaching is struggling. My teaching ain't struggling because my commitment's not struggling. I'm trying to give these kids exactly what they need, plus some, more than I had. So when I see it out there, I just crack up and I'm like, wow. And they got it rigged where the public doesn't always criticize them. Like they got it rigged where by default, you criticize the player before the coach, even though that coach ain't coaching. That's why Tomlin has had a winning season every single year he's been a coach. Unreal. So you guys agree with Tomlin? Coaches out there that resist the responsibility of coaching? And if so, names and numbers. Let's say some names and numbers. Who you think out there ain't really coaching, just out there playing checkers, not chess? And also, tell me some coaches you look up to. Give me some good stories. Give me some people that you're like, they did it the right way and we can learn from them. All right, y'all, coming up next on Never Shut Up. Oh, it's Tuesday, so that means it's Tuesday therapy time. Time to talk to Pro Football Doc. We got my man, Dr. David Chao, in the building, and we're going to funk up some comments, hit you with a Wileyism. I'm out of here. Next on Never Shut Up on Brinks TV and Reach TV. I used to love doing the Scooby. Welcome back to Never Shut Up. It's your boy Marcellus Wiley in the building. About to get this in right now after we show some love to this global giving community, projecttransition.org. Make sure you support by leaving your email or recurring donation. I just sent out 40 different books yesterday, so you guys should be getting those this week. Love for you guys for supporting this foundation. Any recurring donation gets this book right here. Anybody listening to me right now gets to talk to Pro Football Doc. Listening to my man, it's therapy talk time on Tuesday. Dr. David Chao. So it's time to bring him into the building. I'm sure I'm pulling from the wrong direction. Yeah, look at that boy pull him in. Dr. David Chao. Oh, nice scenery, brother. Where are you? And Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. No, it's just a fake Zoom background. No, I'm just kidding. I'm in Palm Desert. And the good news is I have no bogeys today.
Oh, we interrupting a round right now? Let me hear.
No, I'm not playing golf today. That's why I have no bogeys.
That's the only way to keep it that way. I get it, big dog.
Yeah, but there are probably more double bogeys than bogeys when I play. So.
Oh man, I can imagine, man. Golf's my first sport. I love throwing that out there because it's always an eyebrow raiser. Like, you were playing golf in the 70s? I was like, yeah, pre-Tiger Woods. It was Wiley Hoods out here. But love for you, man. We saw a lot of eventful things happening in the sports world. We saw fans drinking drinks. We saw fans getting drinks thrown on them by NFL owners. What the hell is going on, Doc?
I mean, that's obviously a very, very, very bad look for an owner to throw a drink at a fan. Now, I don't know what was said, but I don't know if there's an excuse for it. Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
What do you think would happen to a player if the player threw Gatorade from the field onto a fan? What would happen to the player? Right?
They'll slam him. Yeah.
Something's happening. So far, silence from NFL. I think it's coming. It's a very bad look. And I'll ask you another hypothetical question. What's worse, throwing a drink on a fan, an owner throwing a drink on a fan? And this actually happened years ago. An owner given the number one salute right? Which is worse, you think, Marcellus?
To me, it's worse. They're both bad because they're both weak. Like, giving the bird does nothing. I've never, ever responded to someone giving the bird. I'm like, I'm supposed to translate your middle finger as saying F me, so then F me means I should be mad at you for putting the middle finger up. And then throwing a drink, even if it lands on me, what is that going to do other than mess up my outfit a little bit? But damn, you're an owner of this team. I gave you my money, and this is how you act. You weak. So I would think that the NFL would hate the drink more than the middle finger, but you tell me.
I would have to agree with you. I don't think they like either one, okay? Now, the question is, I can't tell from the video, did the drink hit the fan? And this is an opposing stadium. This was at the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was the visiting owner, but he's still there under official capacity. He didn't get that suite because he just paid money. He got the suite because he was the visiting team owner. And to throw a drink, okay, sticks and stones and whatever you want to say there. But the owner, the previous owner with the middle finger, got fined $250,000. I think this has to be a full of that and probably a suspension, because not only, one thing to middle finger, but technically throwing a drink can be considered assault, right? And so you certainly can't have anyone in the NFL, much less an owner, attempting, quote, assault. And I'm surprised at the relative silence, but I can't imagine that something significant isn't coming. It's just a horrific look. You just can't do that, period. I mean, if a player did
Doc, I'm not surprised by the silence. You know why I'm not surprised by the silence? Because they don't know what to do. Like, this is one of those things where you're like, you would love to just let the criticism from the outward world be enough punishment. Sometimes the embarrassment is a punishment enough, but this one, they're quiet because they're trying to read the tea leaves. You know how it goes. They're just doing this behind closed doors to see how we respond. And since it's not a player, it's not on the same cycle, the same loop in terms of media exposure. It's just a different thing. But the assault part is really interesting if they want to even take it to that place. But a lot of people know that playing football.
Yeah, if the fan ends up filing charges, then it's going to escalate everything. I don't know what's going to happen there. The bottom line is, yeah, you're right. It might be, hey, it's the holidays, New Year's Eve weekend, and, maybe let's let it die down. But if you really think about it, Jair Alexander ran out to do the coin flip when he wasn't a captain for the Packers, and the team suspended him for a game as a result of that. I mean,
I was thinking.
What's the worst offense? I mean, running out because you're a little too overly enthusiastic in your hometown as a visitor and doing the coin flip unauthorized, or throwing a drink. But I don't know. I don't know how this can stay silent just for the good of the league. You have to act. Otherwise, what's going to happen? The next time something happens to a player, they're going to say, you didn't do anything to David Tepper.
Yeah, it's a power dynamic that's different. And I can see the difference between, a team imposed suspension to a player, power down, versus one of the owners, and then like, who's more powerful than me? Goodell? I employ him. And then they're going to have that whole stank match and tug of war in there. Speaking of a tug of war, around this time in the NFL season, it's always the tug of war between, do I rest my players or do I play my players? Rest or rust? How you feel about it, Doc?
I don't think there is a one-size-fits-all solution. It's no different than how often do you wear pads during the season, in practice. A vet player, time of the year, how tired is the team? Certain players need to practice. Certain players can get it done without. And I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all solution. And it's actually a very complicated thing. Dan Campbell, I guess no one's surprised, is going to suit everyone up and play. And we'll talk about that 2-point thing if you want to later. But Kyle Shanahan is thinking about the different options. But it's a very complex thing. Here's the big fallacy. Okay, we're headed into week 18, and people are like, oh, well, the Bengals are going to rest everybody. The 49ers are going to rest everybody because they have the number one seed locked up. But a couple of factors there. First of all, just take the Ravens and 49ers. They have a bye week next week as well as the Week 18 game. So you're really going to give people that much time off, right? Now, it makes sense for Christian McCaffrey with the calf strain to get that time off. But the other big fallacy here is there's 53 active roster players, 46 suiting up for the game. It's not like you can rest an infinite number of people. It's not like you can rest your whole starting line. There's only a handful of people because you actually do have some injuries that you have to contend with. Really a couple people that you rest. And yeah, you have some practice squad call-ups and this, that, the other that you can work on. But it's not like you can rest the whole team. It just doesn't work that way because it's 53 guys. You got to suit up 46. And I think the missing piece of all of this is what do you do during the week, leading up to Week 18, whether you have a bye the first week of the playoffs or leading up to the playoffs, how much you practice and how much you do. That's as much of the equation. We focus on who's going to play in Week 18, but it's actually a fairly complex decision. Medical is one part of the decision, but there's a much bigger strategic overall play here from the coaches and the teams.
Great points. All great points. I had to live through that experience every single year, so it's always on the hearts and minds of everybody affiliated with the game, how to play it out. And then obviously the regret kicks in if you don't get the desired outcome. Let's talk about the desired outcome, if that's a way to even phrase this. What do you think the outcome will be? Because we haven't talked in a while, obviously, for the holidays, but there was a lot of talk about the black versus white team that Rashard Mendenhall had. Then everybody seems like they chimed in. I think universally people in the sport of football would think that the black team would win. However, some people thought this was racial, racist. Some people was like, it's just lighthearted. We all think it. Let's talk it. Where'd you come down on this? Black versus white team, etc.
I mean, you know how it is. In the locker room, like people would ask me sometimes, how many white players do you have with black players? I don't know. Let me try and figure it out, right? I mean, and to me, as you know, I've had a lot of friends in the locker room. And what I figured out over time is people like to hang out with each other, or people that offer something you don't have. And to me, I ended up hanging out with guys that were had something to offer intellectually. That's not to say only guys that went to Ivy League schools like yourself, right? But smaller schools or other schools, but they were very intelligent and you could have conversations. You could learn opinions from people. And that's what I mean, like versus like, in terms of, to me, it's not just your degree, but like how you carry yourself in the world, what makes you interesting. And those who I gravitated to, and that didn't, the locker room, I think, is really colorblind. I do think that was kind of funny, the black versus white. And then Mina Kimes came out with Young Wei Koo about the Asian American Pacific Islander team. And I raised my hand and said, can I be the team doctor there? I mean, can I get a little piece of this? And then they started going one drop rule, like you and I talked about. We have to claim everyone in the Ivy Leagues because there's not that enough. It's not Alabama and Texas or USC and Ohio State, right? It's not black versus white. What about the Hispanic leagues? Don't they get some? But I found it interesting. We had to do an Asian American Pacific Islanders just to get enough, maybe, and then go one drop rule on, to get them. I don't know. I just look at all this and just kind of laugh. I mean, that Asian American Pacific Islander team might have the best analytics, but what are you going to say? Joking around it. But
I love your point of that. I love your point about it being colorblind in the locker room, but that doesn't mean we didn't talk color. It just meant we didn't care after we had the conversation to use it against you. But we're going to talk about it. And the only lane about this, Doc, that I was like, see, that ain't even fun, is when they got into the lane where they were saying that, because the black team would be Vegas odds favorite, obviously. Then they started to say, well, the white team may come in second, et cetera, et cetera. And then they start disqualifying people, saying, well, we want to switch you over. You're not really black and white. The only part about it, I just had an exception. But you thought it was all good, all in fun?
I thought it was good and funny, but I'll make a couple observations. You talk about the locker room, and I'll quote a very dear friend of ours, Junior Seau. I used to call him the mood ring, because there are times that guy would say, look, you white people are holding us blacks down. And there are times that he would say, you black people are giving a bad name to us, white, causing trouble for us white people. And then there are times that he would say, you blacks and whites need to get along. Us others are losing out here. Like, he was the mood ring. Whatever the mood suited him, he would go to that side and make a fun comment. And that's the vein I take all of this. But I will make the same conversation about this. I found it very interesting in this world where everyone is, oh my God, politically correct. And I don't know that we need to do that. I'm not complaining. But I found it very interesting that there was a black team and a white team, and then there was an Asian American Pacific Islander team. What would the world say if it was a black American team and a white American team? Why do we need to say Asian American team? I don't care. I just, in this world of like labeling and different stuff, I just chuckle at some of the things that occur. To me, it's all good, right? We still have the same genetics and chromosomes. We're all humans. We're all equal. And, we each have different talents individually, and it is what it is. But I just looked at it and go, Asian American team. If you had an NBA team, would you say a white American team and a white non-American team? You would just say a European team. American team, right? I mean, I'm just saying that the labels sometimes we put on, are they really necessary? I mean, let's just live life.
Yeah, I caught that with the black team too. I was like, they want to keep them Nigerians. There's a lot of Nigerians out there. They were like, we don't want black American. If you go black American, then you lose some of them Nigerians. You lose a lot of talent. Them Nigerians be pure, boy. They can be athletic as hell. Let's talk about the Detroit 2-point controversy, because every time I go on Instagram now, I see another angle that just shows me that those referees messed up. You tell me, what did you think?
Well, there's no question the referee messed up, right? There's no question that he messed up.
Damn.
And in the sense that, look, he got it wrong. And I can understand, because number 70, Skipper, reported several other times earlier during that game. So the referee, and if you really watch the video, the referee's like looking at his watch, doing something. Here comes Taylor Decker. Here comes Penei Sewell. Here comes the guy. And the referee actually turns away to go to the Dallas defensive line before 70 actually gets up in his face. So he's like, oh, here's this other big white dude reporting in. Just joking there. Don't get mad, nobody. Big white lineman reporting in. And, and okay. But he goes and tells Dallas it's number 70. Look, if I were Dan Campbell, I get it. He's mad. I told you guys about this. Human error. He got it wrong. Now, if I were Dan Campbell, what I would have been saying, it's inside 2 minutes. It's a scoring play. It's under automatic review. And once you review a play, all facets of the play are open, including 12 men on the field. Okay? Like that, it could have been fumble, non-fumble, but you can call 12 men on the field once the review is open. Once the review is open, couldn't you see the video of 68 going right up to the referee and him walking away before 70? Wouldn't you have been better than, you screwed me, you messed up. I told you that. Look at the film. That's something you can act on right there. Look at the film. I think that would have been interesting. But then what would have happened? Because he did tell the Dallas going to complain, you told us 70, even though it's 68. I mean, so how do you adjudicate it?
Go back and
Bottom line is, I would have been arguing, let's review the play, because I would have known my player went and talked to you. That's on TV. That opens up the review. What would happen then? Who knows? But the other thing I think that we forget is Dan Campbell, gotta love him, the fact that he even went for 2, right? Instead of kicking and going to overtime. I mean, that's obviously a whole different thing. And he did it 3 times, right? He went for 2, didn't get it, or got the penalty. Yep. Now, from the 7, I think he was going for an offsides, and he got it and got the free play. And then he went for again from the 3.5 or whatever it was. So it was an interesting set of circumstances. Lots to talk about.
Yeah, that's my old teammate, man, and not much has changed other than the uniform he wears on Sundays, because he is the same guy as a player, as a coach. And you're the same guy that was our medical doctor and friend and contributed to our show, Pro Football Doc, Dr. David Chao. Happy New Year, big dog, and we talk again next week.
Happy New Year.
All right, that's my guy right there. Ooh, known him for decades. Feels good to say that to people and work with them. That's love. All right, let's get into these comments. Funk up some comments. Yeah. Ja wasn't. You're talking about Ja Morant, I guess. Wasn't doing this kind of stuff till he got to Memphis. Maybe he just needs to be in a different environment. Nah, everywhere you go, there you are. So if you just got to move to stop playing around with guns, and I heard the last one wasn't really a gun thing. It's the New Orleans dance move, but it looks gunnish. So, I mean, he just playing with fire now. Maybe he's just tongue-in-cheeking it now. He's just laughing at us as we have to run around in circles because you can't do anything about it. Interesting. Marcellus, when you have a league like the NBA that is constantly lecturing the public on behavior like racism, social and political issues, etc., then you have people like Ja acting a fool. Yeah, I'm going to hate and tell Ja to go kick rocks, you loser. I think I know what you're saying. Like, when they introduce all these other factors into the game, I think one of the direct consequences of it is other people start bringing more than just basketball to the game, including the players. You're right. Like you say, oh, we listening to this and we doing this and doing this and doing this. Because sports has always been political, though. Let's be real. But now the players with their platforms, it's like, oh, well, why I got to keep it separate? Let's do it all together. Interesting point. He needs to get an ass whooping from a white boy, whoa, to show him who he really is. What? The children of Memphis need a better role model because looking up to his fake behavior will get kids killed out there. I think you're trying to say he needs to get exposed for being fraud. Like anybody who is in entertainment talking guns, to me, is a fraud. Now, if they're talking about what happened and then they got here and they stopped it, they stopped acting like that, I get it. But anybody acting like they rooting and tooting and busting and cussing right now, and they on TV with their face out, you ain't even gotta tell me, dog. It ain't as thorough as you saying. Ain't no gangster I ever met that did all that real stuff was trying to get shine off of that. Unless they like, I did a little of that, but I want a lot of your respect, even though I only did a little. This ain't acting. The real, don't do it like that. We know that. Come on, y'all. Let's talk about, can the culture disqualify Eminem? Kudos on not introducing the itty bitties to the BS. Yeah, I don't introduce my kids to race. Once again, another thing, it's gonna come. I ain't gotta go run and chase it. I was raised with the same approach. Umar is wrong and pandering. You can't cancel Eminem. I don't listen to him, especially his sober work. In art, best is a personal taste. I believe Luda is just as prolific lyrically, but he's relegated because he wasn't trap. M has the luxury of just being rated off his bars because his differences are obvious. It doesn't take away from his bars. He fire at spitting, period. Elvis is also regarded as the greatest rock and roll artist. This is a multifaceted and complex issue and topic. If it's just about the music and you want to keep it light, just say you think it's fire or nice. The pushback comes from the greatest or best moniker when you're using a metric not equated with the prevalent contributors of the same or superior talent. Damn, you wrote a comment. That was amazing. I could do a whole show on your comment. Look, that's funny you said Eminem sober is different. He sure is. It's not the same. Eminem can rap. Greatest? Nah, can't be. Not enough songs and memorable like albums. Like, yeah, always in it, but give me something. Like, dog, the greatest got albums, songs. They stay consistent. Like, Eminem has been all over the place. Like, his most loyal fans have had to admit, yeah, it's been a journey. Different styles. But you can't disqualify him because he's white. Black people, we can't get disqualified from basketball and football being the GOAT because that was created by white people. I mean, that was a real easy one to disqualify. Disqualify Umar for saying that instead of Eminem for being white. The culture can't disqualify Eminem. Yep, people call it the culture, but the few loud people on social media don't represent the culture. They're just the loud few. The paying majority around the world has already cemented his place. Money talks. Yeah, Eminem's going to be one of the greatest, and for some, the greatest. Not for me, but it's not because of disqualification, and it's not because of color. Shoot, if the Beastie Boys gave me 2 more, not even 3, 2 more of License to Ills, the first album, 2 more. Now, you know, Paul's Boutique and all that was great. Check the Rhyme. If they would have gave me 2 more License to Ills, I would say that was the greatest rap group ever. I ain't disqualifying you because of your color. I'm disqualifying you what I hear. If I don't hear that fire, that's when you get disqualified. Okay, let's go here. MVP more than just numbers. Lamar Jackson proved he is the MVP last year and the year before. That when he got injured and the Ravens fell apart. And he just proved it last weekend. God dang, he just balled. What was that, 5 touchdowns? I stopped counting. 5 touchdowns? Perfect rating? Something crazy? Woo. When you don't have the numbers, argue. To argue something else, when you have the numbers, that's all that counts. Ah, okay, I got it. So when you don't have the numbers, argue something else. When you have the numbers, that's all that counts. I know what you're saying. Like people who want Lamar Jackson to win it before he gave you some numbers like last week. Oh, he ain't got the numbers. Oh, it's okay. Look at his value to his team, his worth. Then when he got the numbers, and then you be like, it don't matter. Look at his numbers. I get it. You're right there. Mike Florio and the media is a mess. NFL used numbers to decide MVP for past 50 years, but this year, since Brock Purdy is leading, we are changing the rules to coolest player in the league. And, well, man, this news cycle happens fast. This comment made sense when you wrote it. It doesn't now. It's crazy. Happens fast. All right, let me get one more. All these talk. Nice, insightful take. Flattering. Speaking of disrespectful, you didn't mention the Sean Payton-Russ saga in Denver. Let's talk about that real quick. I'm not as mad at Sean Payton as everybody else. Let me tell you why. In my experience of playing ball, whatever a coach says to me, does to me, I allow it two ways. One, by how I play, because he ain't going to say all that if I'm balling. And two, by who I am, if I'm going to accept it or not. Both of those come back to me. Both of those come back to Russ. Y'all can say from day one, oh, man, he had it in for Russ. Yeah, because he wasn't balling. What you think? I got to be nice to Russ. Oh, because he played franchise quarterback. You ain't playing franchise quarterback no more. That's just a title. That's just a desk. That's just a placard. Like, you got a ball. And then this year he did play well. However, sometimes the writing's on the wall, and it just takes me a while to read it. You know what I mean? Like, I've never been cut when I was great, like good enough to not get cut. They don't cut you unless they be like, you just make too much money. And in this situation, he does make a ton of money, but he ain't playing well. If Russell Wilson was balling, you know what they'd do? Like all them quarterbacks, restructure. And they came to him and said that they wanted them to do that. They did it in the most gangster way, which is maybe a little illegal or unethical at least. The PA had to get involved with it. But I just don't, this sounds like coach is tripping. You ever had your boy say, coach tripping? I'm like, man, you ain't that good. Coach don't trip when you good. He can't trip. He ain't going nowhere if he don't play his best. And he got to play his best player. So if Russell Wilson was the Russell Wilson Super Bowl, Russell Wilson, Seattle Prime, you think we talking about this? No. So you allowed it. Now we're in that gray area where, can you show me some grace and mercy? Football ain't like that. Football gangster. So in my experiences, maybe I'm jaded. Coach ain't never disrespected me. Not when I was balling. Oh, they had jokes when I was sorry. Oh, I know that. And they deserve to get them jokes off because what am I doing? What fight am I putting up? But the world I know of sports, if you balling, it's okay. What's the story? Two guys come in. One is great. One is sorry. They both come into the meeting late. Coach looks at the sorry one and said, what the hell are you doing? What you thinking? You're off this team for not waking him up early. You know what I mean? Like, no, we ain't getting treated the same. And Russ kind of invited all of that to himself. All right, y'all. It's time to, we finish every show with a Wileyism. Yeah. That was the slowest spin ever. If it ain't in you, it won't stick to you. All y'all out there always getting hurt by someone saying something about you, writing something about you, reading something about yourself. Social media comments got you all messed up. Got 10,000 likes, 200 comments, and 10 bad ones. And you mad at the 10 bad ones. Well, if it ain't in you, it won't stick to you. Interesting. When I get caught, like, what'd you say? I'm like, that's something I need to work on. Whether it's my response to that or what they're actually saying. Take it for what it is. Damn it. My wife called me hypercritical. Usually I'm critical. And this time I was like, you're right. Let me start working on that, right? 49. It ain't over. I can still do it. But I just want people to just have more of a peaceful, fun existence. Instead of all this like, I can't stand it. Every time I turn on like the news or social or just on my phone, just trying to go in general. Leave my space. Leave what the itty bitties are doing. Leave what anybody with the last name Wiley is up to. All right, let me see what y'all up to. Damn. All these whiners and complainers. Someone said this should be. Why you say this about me? What you say about me? I'm dissing them and they dissing me. I'm like, because they said something about you? shut it. If it ain't in you, it won't stick to you. Keep it moving. People are always criticizing. I let them criticize. I'm going to say what I got to say, then y'all take it where y'all take it. But stay yourself. Stay true to yourself. Make sure, because, man, they'll take you on all these windy roads to nothing. All them people out there yelling and screaming just to make you get off guard, make you get off your square, get off your game. So just remember this. If it ain't in you, it won't stick to you. That'll do it for today's episode of Never Shut Up. Oh, man. One down. Hi, Courtney. Happy New Year, everybody out there. Brinks TV, y'all make sure y'all support. Show that love, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow. We're going to get this thing rocking. Ooh, I can't wait for them next dad dudes. Have fun. Have an amazing day. Get up out of here.
Days a lot faster. Oh, I'm so honored. I'm so inspired to be here, and thank Shine Global for this award, to be recognized for doing the right thing, to be recognized for doing good things, and trying to inspire others for their own greatness. I'm just a kid from Compton who, at an early age, had to look inside to find my opportunities, because on the outside, there were so many whispers and sometimes yells of, I couldn't make my dreams a reality. And thought that was very unfortunate, but I was thankful that I never internalized that chorus that was around me. I was a kid that understood that you had to be greater than your greatest excuse. And I had a lot of excuses. I had a lot of reasons to have self-doubt. But I was able to develop my inner power, discover that inner power, and make sure that I showed the world exactly who I wanted to be. And it was really simple for me. It was to make my dreams a reality. There was nothing more to it. And as I now stand here, just a few miles from where I grew up, where that adversity still is strong, and as we see through these movies, that it's worldwide, not just in our locale. You see the suffering, you see the gangs, you see the drugs, you see the poverty. And there's always one common escape. It's that inner power, it's that ambition. It's having a voice that's louder than those surrounding voices. And I'm on a mission, a global mission, to make sure that that inner power inspires all to not only give, but to receive the blessings that come from giving. And I'm up here right now as a guy who's challenging everyone to give their 3 T's. That's time, that's talent, and that's treasure. Human capital, financial, whatever it may be. Let's invest in each other, because we all have to coexist here together. And as I look around and I have a foundation that really inspires these kids to become their greatest version of themselves, and to look in the mirror to make sure that they're greater than their greatest excuse. It gives me my greatest passion. I was a kid who wanted to be a school teacher, but because of my height, weight, and speed, I became a football player. So I took that helicopter ride up as high as I could, but as I was ascending, I never forgot that I was once one of those fork-in-the-road kids who was shot at many times, who had to navigate around adversity every single day, who had to waste so much of his brain power just trying to get home every day. And so many experiences that sometimes you become desensitized to. But in reality, that is someone else's reality. So I'm so thankful to stand in front of all of you guys as an example of the kids that we're trying to affect, the underserved, the underprivileged, those who are told that their hardships are greater than who they are. But hopefully we can inspire them all to look inward, because everything they want out there is already in here. Appreciate you guys.
BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook, where you can bet on everything, anytime. Sportsbook, casino, horse racing, live betting, and more. We have the best bonuses in the industry. That's right. Get a 125% sign-up bonus, and to celebrate our 30-year anniversary, we're giving up to 30 risk-free bets. A truck, Super Bowl tickets, and more. Don't miss out. Play smart. Join now. BetUS, where the game begins.